Hey guys, welcome back to Paracord Planet. Today we're going to be making a 4-strand round braid bracelet. Some versions of this bracelet are a little bit complicated with some harder knots on the end. We're going to keep it simple by using a barrel connector on the end. This project's great for using up some paracord scraps. So all of the colors that we're using, we need less than 2 feet of each of them. You want 4 to 5 colors. You'll also, of course, need your scissors and your lighter. Let's dive in. Start by choosing one of your colors of paracord to be the center of your bracelet. You'll then want to melt one end so that there's a nice big ball of nylon plastic. Careful not to start any fires. That's going to take almost a full minute to dry. Be sure to do this in a well-ventilated area. It doesn't smell great. On your other end, you're going to want to melt your cord just a little bit so that you can taper it off to a point and put it through the end of the barrel connector. How this connector works is it just pops together and there's a hole in each end, but 550 cord is a little bit too big to fit a full knot inside of the connector, and so we just need to melt down the end. So going in through the inside portion of the barrel connector, we want to thread it all the way through until that ball of plastic sits inside. And that's going to be a big enough stopper that it's not going to pull through. The other side is a little bit trickier because we need to make this bracelet the right size for our wrist. So let's try to put it on, size it up a little bit. You want to leave about 3 fingers of extra space underneath the bracelet, just to account for the width of the bracelet. So watch where it matches up, and maybe leave an extra ½ inch of paracord that we're going to be melting down. Better leave too much than not enough, but hey, we're dealing with paracord scraps anyway, so it's the stakes are pretty low. So stick that other end through the outside. You may have to melt this down to fit through. Yep. Again, just melt that side a little bit so you can taper it down to a point. And then put it through the outside so that when we melt this end, it's going to click together like that. So to melt this down again, one trick that you can use when melting up down the end, if you want it to be an extra big stopper like we want here, is to just fray the end a little bit more first and then melt it down, and that's going to make a bigger ball of plastic. All right, I think that's dry. We'll go ahead and pull that into the stopper. You want to give it a little bit of a tug and make sure it doesn't pull through, that your stopper is big enough. All right, so now we want to see if it's the right size. If it's not, we'll want to cut off a little bit more and melt it again. So this is pretty big right now, but I think I'm going to actually leave it at that. The bracelet's going to be about a ½ inch thick, so then it's going to be tighter on our wrist. And this is kind of a loose style bracelet anyway. So you decide the fit you want, and then we'll move on to the weave. For the 4 weave colors, we're going to be pulling out the guts of this paracord. So if your ends are melted, you're going to need to clip those so that the guts can be pulled out. All right, so now find one end of each color, and to attach it to the end before we start our weave, we're going to take 3 of those colors and put them alongside the core of the bracelet you want them to extend past the barrel connector. Then at this third one, we're just going to be tying a simple overhand knot. We want to make sure that our working end is going to aim up with the rest of these cords. Like that. So right now this doesn't look real secure, but we'll be clipping down all 4 of these cords and melting them, and then that's going to stay in place pretty well. So I'll do that now before we start weaving so that our cords don't slide around. You can pull this up out of the way if you need to. Once that's done, we're going to move on to the weave. You want 2 of your weave colors to be on each side of your core. I'm going to bring this up closer to the camera so it's a bit more visible. Alright, so then to begin the weave, now we're going to take our top right cord, bring it around the back so that we're in between our 2 left weave cords, and then back over to the right to rest underneath our other right side weave cord. Now we're going to do the same thing with our left cords. Take that top one, bring it around the back. Make sure you don't twist the cordless cord so that it lays flat on the bracelet. We're going to bring it behind the bracelet to the right side between our other 2 weave cords, and then back over to the left to rest underneath that other weave cord, and then pull all those cords tight. I'm going to show you that one more time because it's a little bit hard to get the hang of that weave if you've never done it before. So switching back over to the right side, we're going to take the top cord, wrap it around the back of the bracelet, and here's our 2 left weave cords. We're going to bring that between them, and then over the top of the bracelet to go right underneath our top right weave cord. So when you started, this cord was up here, we wrapped around and ended with it below. One last time, left side, same thing. Around the back of the bracelet. This one's a little bit tricky because it's the same color here. Around the back of the bracelet to be between the 2 right cords. And then back over the top of the bracelet to be right underneath that left weave cord. So you can start to see the pattern there. We'll keep going at this a little ways and catch you when we've made some progress. Alright, so it looks like we made some good progress here. As we weave, we want to keep on pushing our weave up on our core strand to condense it and make it look nice and even. But we'll just keep on going at the braid, and we'll catch you at the end and show you how to finish it off. Alright, so we've reached the end. We've been sliding up as we go, so we packed on a lot of braid onto that bracelet. We're basically going to finish it off the same way that we started, and that's by putting our 3 cords just straight up at the end and wrapping one of them around. You want to wrap it a little bit loosely so that you can fit the end through it, and then tighten that down around it. So it's just an overhand knot that's tied around the rest of them. And we'll clip the ends now and seal it so that that cord can't pull back through the knot. There's our completed bracelet. We'll put links down in the description to where you can buy Paracord and this barrel connector. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave us a like. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of these tutorials. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.